Good morning to all the distinguished persons who have come here for this very joyous occasion. In fact, I should say this auspicious occasion, which is a word it really means that this event portends great success. And that is certainly the truth. I acknowledge the protocol which has already been established. And let me just say what a pleasure it is for me to be here this morning, how humbled I am to be in the position I am this morning. Not only is Dr. Georges the Virgin Islands' first poet laureate, not only is he an acclaimed and accomplished writer, winning the Bocas Prize, beating out the likes of the legendary Edwidge Danticat to capture that prestigious award. Not only is he a PhD, not only is he now the president of this storied institution, but I also consider him to be my friend. I remember when I was in high school. I'm going to let out some things this morning, Dr. Georges. I remember when I was in high school and he arrived from Trinidad. I see Mrs. Celia Georges in the audience. I was and remain good friends with Celia and Mr. George's son, Randy. Just as was described before, Richard liked comic books, I like comic books, we like to draw, we like video games, and we would all be together. And when Richard arrived, he made his presence felt immediately. There was a young lady I was interested in. And despite the fact that he's maybe a couple years younger than me, he came in and he enamored her, swept her off her feet, and that was the end of that story for me. So I would say he certainly makes an impact wherever he goes. And I would encounter him some years later when we both studied in university in the United Kingdom. And he was on his way from Wales back to the BVI, and he stopped for a night at my flat in East London. And we listened to his debut CD, which is called Black Poet. And that's the time when he donned the name Longshot. And Richard, like I, we're poets/rappers. And in fact, I haven't given up on my dream of being a rapper. You might hear something soon from me on the radio. And I might ask Dr. Georges to do a verse for me. And of course, we both returned home from university, and we worked for many years together in that English department under the supervision and tutelage of my very darling and wonderful and esteemed friend, Dr. Sauda Smith. Give her a round of applause. I know she feels a great sense of pride this morning as someone who has mentored Dr. Georges. And Dr. Georges and I have begun a journey, a different type of journey now, where we are working closely together along with Mrs. Fiona Forbes Vanterpool, and everyone else on the board and all the other faculty here to do something special here at the college. And I often ask myself, I'm a student of philosophy, what is this all about? What it is that we're here doing? What is it that we're doing? You know, what's the point of it all? And I would have to say that this is the point of it all. Recently, we would have observed the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. had a dream, but the late, great Lavity Stout had a vision. He had a vision that we would be able to direct our own destiny. And he understood very clearly that education, just like the territorial song says, education is the golden key as it pertains to us unlocking our full potential as a teacher. And when Dr. Georges, a graduate of this institution, has become now its president, I would say the vision of our late great founder Lavity Stout has been realized. And I will say that this institution will be the institution where the individual who leads the Financial Services Commission will graduate from. And I will say that this institution will be the institution that the next deputy governor will graduate from, and maybe in a different form of government, maybe even the governor, where the next speaker might come from. The next premier might be a graduate of this institution. And this is what we work for. This is what Dr. Willard Wheatley worked for. This is what Dr. O'Neill, who sits in the audience, worked for. Charles Wheatley worked for, Dr. Charles Wheatley. Dr. Carol Dawson, Mrs. Judith Vanterpool. This is what we are all working towards, to be able to equip the future right here in the Virgin Islands. So Dr. Georges, a lot of responsibility rests on your shoulders. This is what you have been prepared for since you were a young boy. And we were together reading comic books. Perhaps you didn't see it in the future, but someone saw it. And someone decided that you were worth the investment. And you are well prepared to take on this task. I just ask that you continue to seek wise counsel, to remain humble, to continue your love of learning, to continue being as efficient and as effective as you are. And even when you have a difficult decision, don't be afraid to meditate. Don't be afraid to pray for the proper direction. And you will continue to do wonders in this institution. I pledge to you my undying support, for we are working towards the same goals. And for you and for this institution, at really the culmination of this 30-year journey, I would say Godspeed and congratulations. Thank you.